Hello, my name is Rachel Gluck. I live in Yerushalayim, Yera Kodesh. My husband Simcha and I made Aliyah back in 2006, so we've been here almost 18 years. And I have the zchut of selling Jerusalem real estate, helping people buy and sell their homes in Yerushalayim. And Ayala asked me to tell my story because our personal story is quite an interesting roller coaster. My husband and I got married back in August of 2001. And we went to Queens College, and we did not want children those first few years. I was 20 years old, and I actually thought people were crazy that wanted to have kids so early. But in year 3, we started trying, and a year went by and nothing. So everyone told us not to panic. That's okay. I was only 23, 24 years old. We ended up both getting checked, and my husband actually had a varicocele. He had surgery for it, but everything was normal after that. We made Aliyah in December of 2006, and then I dove right into the fertility treatments in Yerushalayim, which are covered by the state. So they checked me, they couldn't figure out what was wrong. So I decided to do every natural treatment that I possibly could get a hold of. So somebody suggested I do a juice cleanse. So I did a 50-day juice cleanse because my cycle was totally out of whack. And after 50 days and daily colonics, cleaning everything out, I have had a regular cycle since then, since 2007, which I never had before. And I did every skula on the planet. First of all, besides changing my diet and eating very clean, any skula, I was on it. Kvater, we were kvater 14 times. That's when you hold the baby and bring the baby to its Brit Milah 14 times. Everybody and their mother knew that we wanted to have kids. Anything that people called me to do, I did. I did the Ayin Hara lady. I did the going every Monday and Thursday to the kever. I did challah. I started doing hafrashat challah every single week for 7 years straight, 8 years straight. I would bless everybody, daven for everybody, share the challah with the world. The list was endless and endless. And finally I hit age 30 and I started getting panicky. And my friend Sippy she said, IVF is also from Hashem. Just sign up. And I didn't want to do IVF. I'd done a few other things, but IVF is in vitro, where they take the egg out, fertilize it in a petri dish, put it back inside of you. It's very invasive. You have to take a lot of hormones. I was very crunchy granola, natural. I still am. And so I signed up, but I didn't want to. And it was Chagim time. And the whole country of Israel shuts down during the Chagim. So I signed up and I did all the blood work and I went to the mikveh on Sukkot and I said to Hashem, I remember screaming. I told the mikveh lady to leave me in there and I said, this is your last chance. Just do it naturally. Don't make me do IVF. I was crying. I said, I will tell the world your miracles. I will tell the world how gadol you are. Just give me a baby naturally. And I didn't think anything of it. It was already 11 years. We were married at that point. And what I want to say is 3 months before this happened, taxi drivers are very in your business here in Israel. Taxi driver named Amnon that I met and had given him my card said to me, so do you have kids? This was like always people ask me, do I have kids? No, I don't have any kids. How long have you married? 10 years. What? 10 years? People were shocked. Everybody's in your business in Israel. He said, you need to talk to this rabbanit. And this was when I was already had enough. So I said, I don't want to talk to a rabbanit, but he already had my card. He called me every day for 3 weeks until I got on the phone with Rabbanit Iris Falach. She gets on the phone with me and she says, do you do hafrashat challah? I said, yeah, I do challah every week. And she said, but have you ever done like a hafrashat challah party? I said, no. Come on over. Literally 3 days later, she was at my house. I invited my relatives, my best friends. There were like 20 women there. We did 100 brachot, sudat amenim. And she did challah and taught us like every ingredient of the challah and why it was so amazing. And she was screaming to Hashem, just like I was in the mikveh, screaming. This woman had just met me that night. She was crying and screaming, give Rachel Devara Bat Chana Bela children. I was like, we were all crying. We were all so moved. And 3 months later, I signed up for IVF. Nothing had happened yet. And Simchas Torah is my birthday, and I just lost it. And I was 31 years old. I had been married for 11 years at that point, and I went to my neighbor Nomi, who we had always done challah together, and I just cried to her, and I said, I can't go to shul, and watch my husband not have a kid on his shoulder for another year. And I just couldn't get myself out of the house. I was so upset. I was so depressed. And that night, like I did every year, I had a party for my birthday, because in Israel, Simchat Torah is the day, I was born the day after Simchat Torah here on Chaf Gimel. And we partied, and literally I did all the blood work for the IVF. 2 weeks later, I was at Kever Rachel for her Hilula. It was the Yortzeit of Kever of Rachel Imenu, and it's down the block from me. And we handed out 40 Perek Shiras, me and my friend Shira, for people to daven for me, because I was still on the skulas, doing every skula. And I get home that night, and it's midnight, and I get an SMS from Maccabi, which is the medical system here, and it said, your blood tests are in from IVF. So I look at my blood work. I don't understand anything, but I saw that I had HCG, which was the pregnancy hormone. And after I looked at it, and it had a number. It had a number 11 or 60 or something. Anyway, I looked it up, and it said on the internet, it told me I was pregnant. And I was in such shock. I had to call every doctor the next day on a Friday to get somebody on the phone to tell me to confirm it. So after 11 years of marriage, I lost it. I started crying to the doctor that told me, he's like, you're pregnant. I'm like, I've never been pregnant once. I married 11 years and I was signed up to do IVF. He's like, well, you're that story. So 9 months later, we had our Maor Yehuda, named after my grandfather Meir. I love the name Yehuda. It means thank you. He was born on my husband's English birthday. He was conceived on my Hebrew birthday, which that's how the dates worked out. And his Pidyon Haben, our first and only pregnancy, a Bechor, we got to redeem with a Kohen in Yerushalayim at the Tayelet overlooking Har Habayit, was on Chaf Gimel Av, literally our 12-year wedding anniversary. So Elul, the power of Tefillah, the power of Sudot Amenim, the power of 100 brachot a day, David HaMelech, they say that he's told Bnei Israel to do 100 brachot a day when there was a plague that was killing 100 people a day. It's a huge skula to do 100 brachot a day and do a Sudat Amenim. I go to one every month now on Rosh Chodesh with my friends. It's just amazing, the tefillot that happen and the miracles that happen. So I just want to bless all of you. If you're going through any fertility issues, or you have anything that I've just talked about. We now have 3 beautiful children, all naturally. Maor Yuda is 11, Yakir Ephraim is 9, Yosef Sasson is 6.5. And we just feel so blessed and honored to live in Yerushalayim, raising our beautiful Yerushalmi boys here. And I just bless everybody to have a beautiful Elul and amazing Chagim. And may Hashem always be with you in your tefillot.